So we're getting towards 2019 now, which means there's a whole load more new books coming out, and so I thought I would share with you today my most anticipated. Now, most of these are either the starts of new series or sequels to series that I'm already reading by authors that I really love, but there are a couple of new releases from authors I haven't read before that I'd also like to mention. So without further ado, let's get into my top 12 most anticipated books of 2019. I'm going to start with Jay Kristoff simply because he's got the most out of everybody. So the first book I'm really looking forward to is Aurora Rising, which is his new collaboration with Amy Kaufman. Now this one is another sci-fi adventure like Illuminae, but this one's written in prose, which means I'm probably going to be able to read it, because Illuminae I really struggled with because of all the different mixed media. It really confused me, and when it was done in non-linear format just really blew my mind, whereas Aurora Rising sounds like it's in straight prose instead, which I can deal with a hell of a lot better. And this one follows a team of unlikely people trying to save the world from what I can tell, but the final line of the synopsis says, "They're not the heroes we deserve, they're the only ones that we can find. Nobody panic." Now that just sounds completely up my alley. It's Jay Kristoff as well. I trust Jay Kristoff's writing. I really like Amy Kaufman's writing as well when they team up, so I really cannot wait to read this one. Next one has to be Dark Dawn, though. I absolutely adored Nevernight. I haven't read God's Grave yet because I'm planning on binging the entire trilogy as Dark Dawn comes out, but I am so excited to read it regardless. I adored Nevernight. I thought it was brilliant and really funny and really clever, and I just love books about assassins, so this one just sounds like so much fun and like another trilogy I can tick off my list as being read, and I just really can't wait for this one to come out. You have no idea. And finally, I also want to read Deviate. Even though I wasn't really a fan of Lifelike, this one sounds a lot more fun to me because this one is following Lemon Fresh and Cricket and things, and we've also now got the romance that put me off in Lifelike. Instead, we've got Eve, who is trying to basically destroy the world, and I am totally here for female characters who started out good and go evil and try to destroy the world. It's my thing. It's definitely one of the things I adore. It's one of the tropes I love, and I just can't wait to sink my teeth into this one. I have a really good feeling about DVA. I feel like it's going to be a lot better for me personally than Lifelike, and I just can't wait to read more about this world. It's X-Men meets Mad Max. I've never watched Mad Max, but I am X-Men trash, so I just can't wait to follow the storyline more and find out more about Lemon Fresh and her backstory, which we're apparently going to find out. I can't wait to see what Eve does with the rest of the Lifelikes. I just can't wait for this sequel. It just sounds so good, and the world I adore, so I can't wait. I really can't wait. On to V.E. Schwab now, and the first thing I'm really looking forward to has to be the first book in the Threads of Power trilogy. I absolutely adore Dark Shade of Magic. It catapulted V.E. Schwab to the top of my favourite authors list of all time. I just adore her. I think she's brilliant. So when I found out that Dark Shade of Magic was getting its own spin-off trilogy and that Kel, Lila, Ryan and Alucard were all going to be turning up in this story and that we were just going back to this fantastical world, I couldn't wait. I know basically nothing about it apart from the fact that we follow a female main character and it's set in Red New York. Apart from that, I know nothing, but that's all I need to know for me to get excited. Basically, I just needed to know that Kel, Lila, Ryan and Alucard were all turning up and I was going to get excited. Actually, they didn't even need to turn up. I was just excited to see this world again. I'm just really excited for this. You have no idea. I'm getting so excited. I am planning on rereading the entire trilogy before the next one comes out. And I'm just going to binge it. And I can't wait. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Next has to be Tunnel of Bones, which is the next one in the City of Ghosts series. And I'm just really excited. I know basically nothing about this book further than we see Cassidy and Jake and her parents again. Apart from that, I know absolutely nothing apart from the title. And I'm still really excited simply because it's a V.E. Schwab book and it's about ghosts. And quite frankly, reading City of Bones made me want to visit Edinburgh. So I feel like this entire series is, for the next 5 years or so, is going to give me new holiday destinations that I want to go to but can't afford to go to. So yeah, I'm still really excited for it. I'm just over the moon and excited to read more of a series from V.E. Schwab that's actually being updated in real time, because usually I come in when the series is finished, and while that's useful, I do like the idea of actually being part of the build-up for the next book in the series, if that makes sense. And finally on this list has to be The Near Witch, which is a reprint of V.E. Schwab's first ever published book. Now, this one's about, obviously, witches and magic and slightly creepy things and forests and all of that good stuff. And I just really can't wait for this one because, again, I am V.E. Schwab trash, and I will read anything she writes. I could read a shopping list she made, quite frankly. I'm just totally in love with her writing. I adore her writing, and I really just can't wait to read something I never thought I would read because it was out of print. So to know that it's now not out of print, basically, and getting a reprint, and we are going to finally be able to read this story, I'm just so excited. I know basically nothing about this story. All I know is that it is the reprint of her original book, and it's also got a short story in it, and that's enough to get me excited. Next book on this list has to be The Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch. Now, I nearly call this The Near Witch constantly because of V.E. Schwab's book, but it's definitely The Winter Witch, and I am so excited for this, you have no idea. I adored the Christmasaurus, despite the fact that I'm really not a Christmassy person, but the Christmasaurus to me was just so magical and brilliant. I absolutely adored it. It's all about a boy who is a wheelchair user and his wish to have a dinosaur for Christmas, and accidentally he ends up with the Christmasaurus, who is the only one of his kind, and the adventure they have on that Christmas. And it is an absolutely wonderful story, and I adore the songs, and I can't wait for the movie adaptation to be done by Michael Gracie, the director of The Greatest Showman. And then when I found out that there's actually going to be a sequel to the Christmasaurus, and this time it's set in the future where there is no Christmas, I was just really excited, basically. I keep on saying excited. I need another word for this. I'm just really anticipating this one because Tom's writing is absolutely brilliant. It's funny and quick and well thought out, and I really enjoy his style. It's very Roald Dahl-esque in the way that he talks and things, and he doesn't talk down to his reader either. And also this has representation of a young wheelchair user as well, which is absolutely fantastic. We rarely see anything like that in novels, let alone children's books. So I'm really excited for that representation as well. Also, secretly, I'm not a fan of Christmas, so the idea of a future without Christmas sounds reasonably nice. I mean, I like the presents and the food and the Christmas specials, but apart from that, no. So I'm rather excited. In my own weird sort of anti-Christmas Grinchy kind of way, I'm just very excited for the Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch. Onto the books now from authors that I haven't read before, and the first one has to be Once and Future, which is a sci-fi retelling of the King Arthur legends, where the female main character has to try and break the curse that stops King Arthur from coming back, with the help of Merlin. Now, I was a massive fan of the BBC TV show Merlin. I adored it. I hated the last episode. That last episode was trash and never happened. But apart from that, I absolutely adored the whole Merlin series. And I've really, really missed it, quite frankly. I'm not rewatching it simply because that last episode spoiled it for me. But I generally love the King Arthur legend. I think it's absolutely brilliant and really, really interesting. And I'm also really, really into sci-fi. So to have both of these combined with a female protagonist trying to sort of save King Arthur just sounds right up my alley. And it comes out on March 12th, and I just really can't wait. I'm probably going to have to wait until my birthday to get it because March is my birthday month. But either way, so excited to get that. So excited to get it and devour it. It just sounds amazing. Next has to be The Gilded Wolves. Now, this is set in the 1800s in Paris, and it's a heist book. Need I say more? After Six of Crows, I'm here for all the heist books, all the fantasy heist books give to me, basically. And this one is getting really, really hyped up at the moment, which makes me slightly iffy because generally hyped books don't go my way. But in saying that, I have to say that Six of Crows was incredibly hyped and it so worked for me. So I'm hoping The Gilded Wolves is the exact same thing. Either way, I'm really excited to read this one. I can't wait to sink my teeth into another sci-fi, fantasy, heist book. I'm just really excited, guys. Next has to be The Girl King. Now, this is a Japanese-inspired fantasy novel where two girls are fighting each other and their male cousin to get their rightful place on the throne. Now, this has also got some shape-shifting in, if I remember rightly, but basically I am here for two badass women taking back what is actually owed to them after their uncle, if I remember rightly, or their father, somebody who was actually in charge of the country, put their male cousin on the throne instead of them. And I'm just really excited to see girls taking back what they actually deserve while also being badass. That's all I need. Girls taking back what they are owed and badass fantasy women. That is a recipe for me to be in love with a book. I can't wait. Next has to be A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Now, this one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Now, I know I've got like 100 Beauty and the Beast retellings that I still haven't read yet, but this is all feeding into the Fairy Tale-a-thon TBR, so who cares? And this is also technically book research for when I get round to writing my own Beauty and the Beast retelling. Also, I'm just obsessed with Beauty and the Beast, so we're just going to go with it. But this one is a contemporary with a fantasy twist to it, which I'm really, really excited for, because usually all the Beauty and the Beast retellings I own are either straight up fantasy or they have a sci-fi twist. And quite frankly, I'm really excited to see what the contemporary twist in this is. Also, the main character has cerebral palsy. Now, I can't say if this is good representation or not, because I know basically nothing about cerebral palsy further than what I have seen on TV, which is obviously not the best place to go for informative, accurate portrayals of disabilities. But either way, I'm really excited to see a Beauty and the Beast retelling with disability representation in it, because I feel like we need more disabled characters in books because they're so few and far between. I just want to support all books that have disabled representation in them, unless obviously it's bad representation. But I do want to, at the moment, support this book unless I obviously hear otherwise about the representation. But I am currently very, very excited and anticipating this book because A, Beauty and the Beast, and B, disability representation. What more could I ask for? Really, what more could I ask for? And last on this list has to be another fairy tale retelling with a disabled main character. Now, this is called Stain, and it is a Princess and the Pea retelling where the main character is mute. Now, again, I don't know much about the representation in this book and how accurate it is, but right now I do want to support it because, again, disabled main character and also fairy tale retelling. I know basically nothing about the Princess and the Pea as a story. I'm still so very, very excited to read this one. It just sounds awesome and it just sounds really, really interesting, and it's got a bit of hype at the moment, so I do want to get in there before the hype gets too high and I set my expectations too high just in case. But I'm still really looking forward to reading this one. It sounds really fascinating and really, really interesting. But that is actually the end of my list. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up, comment down below with what you're really anticipating for 2019. I'd love to know and add yet more to my massive, great, big anticipated list. So tell me that down below. I'll also leave a link down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out. If you want to see what I eventually think of these books when I read them, please click subscribe here. And over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, guys, bye.